Okay, morning everyone. Not very nice start to the morning out there. Not quite what we were expecting. I have to say I thought this band of rain would be down in the West Country by now. It's really been lingering over here for the last 24 hours. As you can guess, those that have walked in here, the field is pretty grim. Talk about that in a minute. But this is the 6 o'clock chart. See the UK here, the normal colour Met Office chart isn't available this morning. This is this frontal system, and it's slowly drawing its way down towards the West Country. It's very slow moving, as you'll see. And there's another weak frontal system sat over East Anglia, which again is not going to be moving until later on today. So light northerly flow in this, and pressure still fairly low. Lots of cloud in there as well, you'll see in the satellite picture. So METARs first, the airfield forecasts, so the airfield actuals. Farnborough, broken at 800 feet, showers in the vicinity, and that's 11 minutes old. And Heathrow is slightly better, broken at 1,000 feet, overcast at 4.8. And the last time I looked further upwind, Luton wasn't great, overcast at 400 feet, but that sits on top of a hill, so it tends to be a little bit worse there. And then the METARs, the TAF, sorry, they were sort of not really giving much away about what's going to happen during the middle part of the day. Hopefully they'll change as things go on. 337 knots, light northerly, northwesterly. Later in the day, at some point, scattered at 1,800 feet. That appears to be the best it's going to get. Tempo between 8 and 10, 6,000 meters, rain and drizzle, and broken at 1,000 feet. It's pretty much what we've got now. So there is a clearing picture taking place, but there's lots of tempos between 7 and 10, broken at 800 feet. And again, between 9 and 30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, broken at 1,400 feet. So it's a very gradual clearing picture to eventually, I guess, flyable, but not fantastic. Heathrow, which is a bit further northeast of us, is perhaps a little bit more optimistic, but they're picking up later in the day, the lowering cloud, and in the evening, rain and drizzle. So as the next front comes in from the east, they're picking that up. Upper winds, we've got some charts. Met Office, hadn't published them half an hour ago when I looked. So upper winds, 15 knots, northerly, 350, 360, which is what I looked at other sources, looked about right. SatPic, you can see the frontal system and see how slow the progress is. It's there and it's not progressing. But what we're going to get into is this air mass here. As the late morning and afternoon gets on. And here's the sort of showers and rain in East Anglia. It's not really progressing that fast towards us late in the day, evening time. There you go. You can see that this dot is not actually us. That's Winchester. We're more about here. So it's just beginning to clear. It's lightening off, but we might catch just the edge of this bit here for a bit. So another hour or two, I think, before this really clears and things start to get a little bit better. We can contemplate opening the hangar doors and going out and getting set up. Temperature wise, same as yesterday, probably about 9-10 degrees in the afternoon. Chilly wind direction, northerly, so it'll take some of the edge off the temperature. And what a top meteo suggests, well, I think they've updated this this morning, because when I looked earlier on, it looked completely out. It looked like yesterday's forecast, where they were showing this cloud way down in the West Country and a brighter patch here. They're showing at 10 o'clock still some lowish cloud lurking around us, and then move it on a couple of hours, starting to clear up. By 12 o'clock, starting to look a little bit better. more broken cloud. We'll have a look at what cloud bases are likely to be, their prediction. And then 2 o'clock in the afternoon, similar sort of picture, perhaps a bit more broken. And then by 5 o'clock, you can see the progression of this bit of rain moving towards London. It's not going to be an issue for us, because by the time it goes past us at night, it'll have fragmented into virtually nothing. So cloud base, let's just look at any predicted thermals by midday. They're giving 600 to 700 meters, so 1,800 feet. Yeah, best sort of 800 meters, 2,500 feet, perhaps late in the afternoon at best. So it is a gradual improving picture, folks, with a light northerly wind. And chance of flying later on, but we've got a couple of hours of looking out the window and drinking tea. Okay, if we do go flying, other things to look at. Airspace locally, as you can see in the Lasham area, nothing. Out to the west, the danger areas have just been raised for today. Horse event, not to worry about. And there's parachuting. This number 21 here has been no time for a few days. I tried ringing that number earlier in the week and it just rang and rang and rang. I'll give them a call today and find out what they're planning for today and tomorrow. But it's just west of the Benson ATZ. And it's, as you see, up to 3.2 above sea level, but for most of the day. And that's about it on NOTAMs. Nothing else particularly going on. Operationally, if we do go out, you can see the areas of grass around the clubhouse are a bit like the Somme. The airfield probably won't be much better, so we'll do our best to stick to the tarmac. A little bit difficult when we're towing the gliders out. You might just have to go straight out here and down here, because I suspect this is completely blocked, or will be completely blocked with either winches or trailers or bits and pieces. If it's clear, then you could tow carefully down here or down here, depending on which way we set up. I have a funny feeling that we may end up here. We're either going to have a launch point here or here. So yeah, it's either going to be tow out this way along the grass. The drier bits are going to be in the middle here, or if there's room, tow it very, very carefully down around here. So we'll probably set up on the runway so we can land on the runway. Either way, cables will be towed out on the north side. A launch point, for example, in a westerly direction will be here as normal. Circuits to the south, you land either on the grass, but it's going to be really wet here, or on the tarmac. Circuit to the north, you land on the grass. Don't have mirrored circuits to the same landing area. If you are landing on the runway, land one side or the other and roll up to within about 100 meters of the launch point. Wet areas, obviously down the south here, will be incredibly wet. And just on the edge here, down through where people have towed out over the years, the ground just doesn't drain there. So something to be aware about. Not going to make a decision on which runway we're going to go on until we actually move the launch point vehicle and put it out. Assess the changing conditions then. Okay, folks, so if you're here, sit and drink some more tea. And we'll go out when we think it's worthwhile getting the kit out and we're not going to get wet. Hopefully start flying.